Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're going to talk about what the politicians in your neighborhood are doing. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. They're making laws and regulations that are affecting you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Elgin.
You're welcome there, partner.
Well, these are the people that you elect or the people that they appoint, and they make decisions that directly affect you, whether you live in the township of Oxford or Addison or the villages of Oxford or Leonard.
Right. They do that.
They do that.
Okay, let's talk about Addison. You just mentioned them, township. We elaborated a little bit at the last program that we had. There's a couple things that we did not cover, and that is that they made a decision.
Oh boy.
They had a choice between building a new building completely, in other words, scrapping the old one, leveling it.
Oh, that was the four architects of the apocalypse.
Yeah, yes, but I'm going to get to
Okay.
the answer of this thing and what they decide to do.
Okay.
Solution here.
So it's only going to be one horseman.
It will be down to one
right.
horseman. Or what about that bull that gets gored or whatever? The other three did.
Voted off the island.
Right, and another choice, by the way, before I was interrupted by you,
Hey,
another choice was that they could take the good parts of the building, which aren't leaking and falling down, and they could
put airlocks in. No.
Yeah, right. They could eliminate those areas and keep the good parts
Oh,
that don't leak and ceiling falling.
at a cost savings?
Quite a bit of savings involved compared to building new.
Okay.
And they had architectural plans there too, for that part of it.
Is there a little bit?
Nice looking.
Is there a little bit of? I don't want a used car, Mom. I want a new car.
Well, there are those that think along those lines or have thoughts along those lines, but when it comes right down to it, it's all about show me the money.
Right.
So anyway, so
It's only business.
it's only business. Another plan that they had was to build an addition on the existing building also. What was it? Oh, they were going to build a new one. That's what it was. They're going to level it completely, build a new one behind the site where it currently is. Okay.
Which
Did
would
you get it?
provide more parking.
Yeah. Did I confuse you?
No.
Darn. Yeah, they could provide more parking that way. But anyway, the choice was to take the existing building, take the good parts, eliminate the bad parts, and
Throw out Mr. In Between.
yeah,
No,
and actually,
that's a song.
Yeah, put put an addition on that would take care of the sheriff's office.
Okay.
For Addison Township. So that's the choice that they decided to take, and they made a motion that work be done for no more than $2.4 million. Small change. Anyway, they have about 1.8 million in their general fund. The motion went on further to say that they would withdraw 1 million from their general fund, remaining 800,000 in that account yet, and then finance the other part of 1.4 million for a 15-year period.
Bond issue?
No, they're going to take out a loan. And the loan rate, I guess, is anywhere between 2.5% and around 3.25, somewhere in that neighborhood. Okay. So they felt that was a way to do it. The annual payment would be in the neighborhood of about $80,000 per year. So that was decided, and that was a big effort, because they went through several months of people coming in and say, "You're going to do what?"
Which begs the question, when does it start?
I think they're pretty much on a movement to have this thing start by fall.
Okay.
Start the activity. Of course, one thing that's going to come into play is they're going to have to provide other office facilities somewheres as a temporary base, for the administrative
that's
activities. So that's a concern. You're talking about telephone lines and all kinds of things. Unless they pull a trailer inside, I wouldn't do that.
You never know.
Yeah, well, you never know, but I doubt it. But there's going to have to be some additional expenses in order to facilitate what they plan on doing.
Sure.
It should be a nice complex when it's all done.
Very good. How many square feet is it going to be in the end?
You know what? I did have that. I can't recall right now. You ever get those moments when you go, "Boop"?
Yeah. We have names for them, but I won't mention them here.
Look it up for us and tell us next time, okay?
Right.
That's a good way to get him on the move here. So anyway, that's what has gone on in Addison Township. Oh, Bruce Pearson said that there would be other discussions also with the community as they move along, so keep them informed.
I'm sure.
which
That's a good thing
Bruce
to do.
Bruce is a pretty good communicator.
Community don't like surprises.
Yeah, well, pitchforks. Could be bad.
Yikes.
Right. Let's now talk about NOTA, which is the North
Oakland Transportation Authority.
Good boy. Now heel. All right. Anyway, they first had the director's report. And Lynn Gustafson, I have a hard time with that last one, but she doesn't. She says it quite well. Lynn Gustafson.
So does her mom.
Yeah, pretty smart girl
Oh.
as a director.
Well, she was the finance person for NOTA before she became the director.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
I read the books. I read the newspapers. I
Oh.
listen to you, which sometimes leads me astray, but that's okay.
That's off the record, though, isn't it? You know, that's kind of off the record. So anyway, she said that they hired a new dispatcher, and they also hired a new bus driver. So that's what you're doing nights, huh?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, your wife wants to keep tabs on you, buddy. So I knew that wasn't going to be you. She said that they're also going to be pretty active in presenting information about the millage that they're trying to raise.
And this
Because-
is a vote coming up in
August.
August.
Mhm.
And this is a multi-municipality
It
vote
is.
that has to occur simultaneously.
It is. And I think there's a follow-up, if I'm not mistaken. If this one's turned down, there's an option, I think, down the line.
What's
for-
the old thing? You can only say no so many times until you say yes.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yes stands forever, no doesn't.
I see how that works. Okay, but anyway, she was saying that they're going to have a pretty busy summer because of the millage issue, which of course the state has taken away funds and grant money, that kind of thing. For
The state has, actually. Yeah.
state. That's who I said, didn't
Oh,
I?
did you? I thought you said village.
Did I say village? Oh,
Never mind.
Maybe I said state. I meant state. Okay.
I know you
So yeah, they've state has been becoming pretty frugal. They have potholes to deal with in the state of Michigan. Let me see. You have money over there? Okay, we'll take this money. And that's the way it's working out until people approve what they're going to do. Unless gas tax gets in. That's a whole different subject. You won't be able to afford a tank of gas if that goes through. But anyway, that is what it is, right?
Right.
Okay, with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Hello, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles.
Together, Terry and I host the weekly news Monday through Friday at 12, 6, and 11 p.m.
Broadcast on Charter Channel 191 and AT&T UVerse 99, we only cover news that impacts our local Addison and Oxford area. In other words, by all accounts, news that would normally not receive from any other televised source.
But chances are, if it's local, it will be found on Oxford Community Television and OCTV.
For the weekly news, I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Together, we invite you to join Terry and me for our next OCTV weekly news program. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we have been beating the living daylights out of what?
NOTA.
NOTA. And we let people know what was going on in Addison Township too, with their new building they're going to have.
And just as an aside, you should know that NOTA no longer is in its old location, but in Lake Orion now.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It is. They have a brand new facility that they're leasing
Yep, from the school system.
from the school system. It is really done over nicely.
Wonderful.
So anyway, and it looks like as far as their employees, they're putting in all kinds of time into the work effort to make things run smooth too for NOTA. And for those of people out there that don't know what NOTA is, they provide rides, for people at various locations. All you got to do is call them. You can find NODA by strictly going to the internet and putting in NODA.com, I believe.
Yeah, and there's a fairly simple qualification that they go through to make you a valid writer on their system.
Yep, you got to be living, breathing, and somewhere is close where they can find you. Unlike you and Brandon.
Right. No one comes
Good
for
luck.
us.
Good luck with that one. Right. So anyway, we were talking about they're going to be in parades. They're going to be in the Leonard Strawberry Festival parade.
Oh, good.
They're going to be in the Lone Ranger parade, and but for the kids out there, they should be giving candy out. I'm not sure if they will. It could be just flyers.
Nice way to apply pressure, buddy.
Right. And then Lake Orion has got a parade coming up too, and
Yep.
they're going to, of course, be in that one as well. And anybody else that wants them in a parade, contact them. There, we're going to really put them to work, aren't we? So anyway, they said that another question that came up was the audit report. Bill Dunn said, by the way, how much is it costing for the audit, for NODA? And the director said, well, it's $5,000, a little over $5,000 per year to do an audit. And Bill says, wait, I got an idea.
Use
He says,
ours.
Yeah, use ours. He said, for example, one department that we have has two different divisions within it, and larger than what NODA is, and they're only paying $1,300 a year. And
I think we're dealing with considerably more income too.
right, so that's true. So the director says,
And,
perfect.
and considerably more sources of it.
But she said there's a reason why it's this high. Municipalities, villages, that kind of thing, pay a higher rate because you're only talking about one entity, whereas the townships, they have a whole bunch of things going on, Parks and Rec and fire department and all kinds of things, and so the total bill for example, Oxford Township is around $20,000 per year.
Once you take all those entities into
Yeah.
account.
Right. And so, excuse me, Joe Young from the village says, whoop, raised my hand. He said, she's right. The director is right. That we're not going to ever get, the rate that you guys are with just one location or one entity. However, he said, I would suggest that you solicit bids, for the next time you want an audit performed or you want to hire an auditing firm.
Well, as you would for any major expense.
Mm-hmm. And he pointed out that the village did this last time, and we ended up with the same auditors as before, but they lowered their rate quite a bit.
Competition is a wonderful thing.
Sometimes it can be, unless you're the person who's getting beat up.
Oh, well.
It's just not. I wonder if they say it's a wonderful thing. Probably not. But anyway, it saves.
There's always a little danger in being the low bidder too.
There is, yes.
You got to deliver.
And they don't, they don't always take the low bid either. I mean, they consider, the performance they've had before and all the conditions, tied to it, because not all of them offer the same kinds of services either. So they have to, of course, glean through that and pick the best of the bidders.
The best of the bidders.
Best of the bidders.
Say that 5 times quickly.
I don't think I'll do that. I'll let you do it though.
No, I won't.
Okay. So anyway, so they pretty much all agreed that this would be a good approach. And they did say that they understand, where the director is coming from and Joe Young from the village. So anyway, Bill Dunn said, I think there's a way that you can use the township. You can go to the township and hitch a ride, on our program. And one of the commissioners said, I don't think that can happen. But Bill was persistent.
Well,
He said, well, we do it, he said, for
it might bear
Pollyann.
It might bear looking into in any case.
Right. Bill said, we do it for Pollyann Trail. And since we've been doing it for Pollyann Trail, we've not had any problems, nor have they. And it cut their expenses a lot. So he said, I think, that isn't true, that you can tie on and hitch a ride, with the township, be it Lake Orion or whoever, Addison Township.
You're talking about the audit here,
Yeah, we're talking about the audit.
which might be a different animal than, say, leveraging other facilities within a township.
Right. True. Where'd you come up with that one?
Well, there was an effort to, for instance, the Village of Oxford and Lake Orion, to leverage various things commonly between them.
That's true.
But that's different than an auditor who has certain restraints.
Right. Now, that is, you know, using resources, you know, from the various townships and the villages too. For example, when Lake Orion had the bad storm, our Department of Public Works employees immediately went down, helped them out. Cutting trees, that kind of thing, get them off the highway and get,
Oh, sure.
get traffic moving. So
And that works with fire departments also.
It does. We loan equipment, we loan
If
our
some-
firemen.
Oh, sure. If someone has a big enough fire, everyone dives in to take care of it.
They do, and that's the way communities need and should operate,
Yep.
right? Okay, let me see what else we got here. Oh, let's talk about Cable Communications Commission. You were there.
Our parent.
Yep, you were there. They did have a meeting. Buck Kreiderman is, excuse me, the chairperson. And they did talk about insurance there, didn't they? Do you remember?
Really, all it really was a checklist to verify that we were in the same categories that we were last year. It wasn't actually a bill or anything. It was anticipated that it was going to be a bill, but it really wasn't. All it required was a signature by the chairman.
Oh, so what does it mean in terms of insurance? Everybody have insurance?
It means the ball's rolling. I think our insurance expires roughly in August, so that process has to be ongoing, and all they're doing is initiating some of the checks right now.
Is that employee insurance, auto insurance?
So it's the
or-
whole, it's the employee insurance, liability, the building, the whole shot.
Everything.
Yep.
And it's like
All of our material here,
$4 a year insurance policy? Not bad.
not quite,
Okay. This guy
reasonable.
handles those numbers, so
but reasonable.
yeah, he has visions of these little numbers jumping over a fence instead of sheep at
That's
night.
why I don't get any sleep.
Oh, that's not what I've heard. Oh, anyway,
Well,
it's that night shift you're riding the bus. Anyway, Ron Davis stood up and he spoke before the meeting. And we'll tell you what happened there when we come back.
this is OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford and Addison Townships with the best in local programming. On Charter Channel 191, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and our website, OCCTV.org. OCTV, we provide local programming that brings you closer to home.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we've been talking about the Cable Commission right now.
Yep.
And we talked about insurance. Real exciting subject, right?
And you're ready to move on, aren't you?
Yes, I am. We mentioned just briefly before the break, Ron Davis gave a presentation. And would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, Ron Davis made a fairly general presentation, no PowerPoints or images or anything like that, but
Oh.
basically what?
Who's Ron Davis?
Ron Davis is the head of the Parks and Rec Department.
Okay, now you can continue. Go ahead.
You could have said that yourself. But basically, he was saying that, when is the vote for that? Is that in November or is that in August?
No, that's going to be in August.
It's in August. There is a, $25 million cost associated with this new community center, which will be located at Stony Lake Park. And to place it there, they're going to have to move two of the gazebos that are there over to the Seymour Lake Park. But the basic thrust of his presentation was that they could potentially make room for us, this station, in that facility.
Part of the building.
For only the cost of the utilities.
Really?
Yeah.
No cost for anything else?
I'm sure that negotiations will be ongoing, but that sounded pretty good. Anyhow,
It all hinges on
it
the
wasn't
ballot.
highly detailed, you know, and he basically said, you know, this is not Ron Davis's pet project. This is something that's swelled up from requests by the people in Oxford.
That's an interesting little
Right.
approach.
Yep. So, anyhow,
But anyway, it's all
it was a short
contingent.
presentation.
Yeah, it's all contingent on, you know, if the people vote, you know, to
Right.
go in that direction.
And
If it doesn't,
basically,
it
it's a
sends-
$25 million cost for the facility and roughly $500,000 a year operating expenses. But it's pretty all-inclusive, swimming pool, running tracks, various meeting rooms. It'll also be the headquarters for the Parks and Rec Department, among other things.
It's a great concept, I think, and, you know, and get this, seniors get in there free if you're from Oxford area. Where did you say you were from?
Out of state.
Brandon.
Get
Anyway.
your money out, Kenny.
Yeah, right. But anytime they've built these type of community centers, they've been pretty much the center of what goes on
Sure.
you know, in that community. So anyway, they also had a speaker that talked about finances with the township, and you were involved in that with Joe Ferrari, right?
Well, Joe Ferrari made a presentation, and what he basically said was,
Excuse me.
what?
Who's Joe Ferrari?
Joe Ferrari is the treasurer of Oxford Township.
Oh, okay. Now you can continue.
Oh, thank you, sir. And basically, he was making a recommendation to, much like he does for the Pollyant Trail, be the center of financial reporting for that organization. And currently, we do an internal accounting here at the station in Oxford, and we give that information over to the township, who works it into their accounting system and gives us reports. There's some time sequence shift between the two reporting systems, but basically he was saying that it'd be more efficient if we just used his system rather than ours and save some money, or save some hours here at the station in any case. The commission thanked him and voted to table it for now, but keep it under study.
As you can see, folks, this is real exciting stuff. If you don't have to really see exciting,
Raw.
don't balance. Yeah, if he doesn't balance, it gets exciting around this studio, I can tell
Little
you.
beads of sweat.
Right. And everybody else sits around him, watches him sweat. Good job, though.
I'm glad I'm a source of entertainment.
You are. More ways than one, more ways you'll ever know. So anyway, so that was tabled. Personally, I think it might be a good concept because it eliminates redundancy.
Oh, that's
the things
true.
that we do here at the station, they would be doing.
But then again, you didn't like the dispatch in Oxford.
Still don't. Well, I like the dispatch.
I can see where you're going,
I
mister.
do. I like the dispatch. I like the people in the dispatch. But it's all about money. It is. I mean, there you got me into a subject that we're spending on a budget $305,000
As Al
a year.
Pacino said in The Godfather, it isn't personal, it's just business.
Well, I don't like that phrase necessarily, but,
Oh, well.
because if it isn't personal and you do nasty things to people, it becomes personal. So that's not a good thing. But anyway, that was all tabled and put down and beat up, kicked around, and I don't think anything's going to ever happen
Right.
with it. They did talk about full-time employees. Now,
Right.
what's interesting is this station, for all the things that we do, you and others in the staff, are pretty much done with all part-time people, with one exception. That's the station manager,
Our service manager.
our service manager.
Oh, Bill Service.
Bill Service. Bill will always be of service, and he does a great job out
Yep,
there,
he
you know,
sure
as a
does.
manager. And but he's the only full-time person, and everybody else is restricted to a certain amount of hours per week.
27 at the green line and 29 at the red line.
Yes, yeah, kind of like running a race. But with that being said, there's certain core of people here that make things happen, train other people, do schedules, directing, all those kind of things, that 27 hours, a lot of times they go over it.
Right.
So Bill's trying to get another full-time person into this position, but that was tabled. So there'll be more to tell down the line.
Right.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, On 7/1 at 7 p.m., the Village of Oxford Planning Commission's meeting. And on 7/2 at 6:30, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission Economic Development Subcommittee is meeting, but check on that one because sometimes they don't have a meeting. And on 7/4, well, we all know what that one is. And in addition, on 7/4, the Addison Oaks fireworks. So you might want to check that one out. And on 7/7 at 7:30, the Addison Township Parks Committee, and also at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford ZBA, which stands for
Zoning Board of Appeal.
very good. You get an A.
That's because I'm on that board.
You better get an A.
Better know. All right. One last thing I had to say, and that is Seymour Lake Festival. Festival? Celebration.
Yes.
Seymour Lake Celebration is coming up this weekend. Too
Too late.
Be over with, done.
It'll be over with by the time you hear it.
Yeah.
Right now, you'll miss it.
Yeah, we're gonna miss it.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm Elgin Nichols.
We'll tell you about the Oxford fireworks when we come back next time. And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Since 1966, 13 parks and golf courses have been acquired, maintained, and improved. Oakland County parks and facilities are made possible by millage funds supported by Oakland County residents. For a home valued at $200,000, the homeowner pays less than $25 per year to support the Oakland County parks. With every generation, families create lifelong memories at Oakland County's award-winning parks. From exciting summer escapades and stories around the campfire to brisk fall walks on wooded trails and snowy winter outings, the outdoors beckons year-round. It's time to get up, get out, and get going at the Oakland County parks. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. A quick tip: all our parks and golf courses end in Oaks. To find your favorite, just go to destinationoakland.com. Click to pick Oceans of Motion water parks at Red Oaks and Waterford Oaks, the Wint Nature Center at Independence Oaks, Teen Adventures, and even entertainment to go. When outdoor adventures on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north with plenty of recreation options. Want to get fit? Hit the trails. Oakland County Parks boasts more than 68 miles for strolling, walking, hiking and running, biking, or horseback riding. If the links are your lure, 5 golf courses, including Premier Course Lion Oaks, are conveniently located. Make Glen Oaks or White Lake Oaks your home course. Get an up-north feel at Springfield Oaks, or play a quick 9 at Red Oaks. Our recreation lineup rocks. Learn to swim. Experience an outdoor adventures camp. Take the fast track at BMX, or gain new lifelong skills. Everyone's included. Individuals with disabilities participate in dozens of adaptive opportunities, including a new fully accessible playscape, modified golf carts, and annual events.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.